friends, Laura A. Grace here, the author of Dear Author, Letters from a Bookish Fangirl, and Team Lines of Poetry Collection, and Gathering Faith, my upcoming manga, which I hope will be releasing this spring. Welcome back to another Top 5 Wednesday, and it is the first Top 5 Wednesday of February. I loved last month, joining in Top 5 Wednesday. It is an amazing community. I have just really loved chatting more with you friends just about manga. It has just been such a joy. Today's video is no exception, and if you're not familiar with what Top 5 Wednesday is, it was formed by Lainey back in 2013. The group has since went on to Goodreads, and basically we share 5 books that go with that said prompt. Today's prompt is Home Sweet Home. Basically worlds in manga or books that you would love to go visit. Granted, you could do one that's in the real world, but they encourage to do ones that were fantasy or just outside of the real world. Now, I'm going to be honest and say that probably my answer every single time would be Tokyo, Japan. I absolutely love Japan. I love Tokyo especially. I don't think that's the first time I've mentioned it, but that is where I would definitely always go if I had an opportunity or a choice to go there. So I try to think outside of the box. I'm not sure if these would be my top 5 worlds I would go to, but I try to think of some fantasy manga that I have read, and here are some of the ones that I came up with, though in no particular order. I'm sort of new to this genre a little bit, but I really, really love it, and that is I think it's Isekai with as well as the RPG. So I was going to go with Kuma 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 Bear. I loved this volume a lot. There's also a manga. This is the light novel. And I have volumes 1 through 3 on my shelf, though I have not read volumes 2 and 3. But basically, our main character here, Yuna, she ends up going into the game that she plays all the time. And Yuna is such an interesting and fun character to read about. I just was surprised how much I really enjoyed this. And with that, sort of, I guess maybe as an honorable mention, because I haven't actually technically read this, is In the Land of Liddell. I think that's how you say that. And I just love the cover. This is another light novel, and it's the same premise of where the main character ends up going to a role-playing game that she played in the real world. But look at this cover. It is just so gorgeous. It's one of my favorites, and I think book 2 is releasing or has released, and the cover is absolutely gorgeous. It's like a beautiful lavender. I could just get these just for the covers alone. They're absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, I would definitely visit this world, especially if I was with Yuna and I could just be with the bears and visit the home that she builds, especially at the end, because that was absolutely awesome and totally fascinating. But I want to be with Yuna. I don't know if I'd want to be in the world without Yuna. For the second one, it's not one that I personally own, and it was one of the first manga that I read via NetGalley years ago, and that is Sword Princess Alameda. I think it's how you say that. This is a really interesting world. I actually don't love the main character. She's sort of grumpy in the beginning, but it's a very good book, and I really enjoyed it. Basically, in this fantasy world, everything is opposite when it comes to the typical fairy tale where the man goes and rescues the princess and such. In this world, all of the women have the powerful roles. It's the woman who has to go save the man. And it was just a really interesting concept where, just like I said, the typical gender roles that we have are completely flipped. Everybody that is in power or powerful are the women. So that was really interesting. I wouldn't mind visiting that world just because I think it would be rather different than what I'm used to. And if I was with Alameda, that would be an adventure probably like no other. For number 3, I had to mention this one, and that is Snow White with the Red Hair. Yes, take me on all of their adventures. I just love this story. I have not finished the manga yet. I think I have all the way up to volume 10. I think volume 11 just released. I haven't read that far though, but I just love this manga. It is so really good. And if I could go be with the gang and everybody, I would totally take a chance just to go into their world. I think it'd be really fun to learn from Shirayuki and see just the day-to-day life for Zen and, like I said, his bodyguards and just everybody, guys. So go ahead, take me to this story world with everybody. For number 4, it's another one I actually haven't read, and it is an older title. It's since been released by a new publisher, I think, or maybe it's the same publisher, but it's just different. But it is Aria. And I thought I would do it this way because you can see all the beauty of the cover. I have been really intrigued by this manga. I think the newest one is Aria the masterpiece, and it has more of an accurate translation, I believe, and it's just top-notch kind of thing. But what I thought was fascinating about this, and I feel like this picture does not show how cool it is, the new cover does. But basically in her world, it's like life on Mars, but it's like a futuristic version of Venice. So you have gondolas. Here's an example right here. And the world, like I said, this cover does not do the story world justice in my opinion, but what I've seen about it looks so cool. I mean, having an ancient like city in a futuristic world is just totally wild to me. You can't really even see it on this back image either. But I heard that this is an anime, and I guess it's a really fun series. It's very laid back as well. So I think it'd be a lot of fun to go and explore this world. And for my last one, I don't have this one anymore either, but oh my goodness, I loved it so much. So for number 5, I'm going to say Mermaid Boys. Yes, technically, most of the story does take place in modern day, or in our world, I should say. But the thing is, they're mermaids, and I think it'd be really cool to just go be a mermaid for a day and just go explore the sea underneath, especially if there was other mermaids. Like, I'm not a huge mermaid person, I'm more of a unicorn fan, but I still like mermaids, and I just think that'd be such an amazing experience. And by the way, Mermaid Boys, I've only read volumes 1 and 2, but volume 1 is absolutely hilarious. I loved it so much. I've read it probably like 2 or 3 times. I should recollect that, or should go back and repurchase that series because I gave it away a long time ago. But it's a lot of fun, and I really love Naru. He's just an interesting main character, and I just thought it'd be cool to feature something that had mermaids. But I want to do one other honorable mention, and of course that is Haiku, because if I could just go be with these guys all day long, hands down, I would do it in a heartbeat. I love Haiku, I love Hinata, the Karasuna team, and just like all the teams, it'd be an amazing experience to go to Japan and be with them. I wish they were real so very much. Totally let me know in the comments, what story world would you love to visit? Whether that's a modern day story world or a fantasy world, futuristic, whatever. I would love to hear from you, friends. And thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thanks so much for watching. Bye!